Hello. Oh my goodness, my phone totally shut off. I got a message saying my phone overheated, which has never happened to me before. So that's interesting. Maybe Javier was just so fascinating and so exciting that then all of a sudden my phone decided this is like too much and it just heated up and then turned off. Oh, Javier, thank you. Join back in. I can't believe it was a cut on my side and not on the Kenyan side. Okay, thank you, Javier. Okay. Javier, I got a message saying that my phone overheated and then it went. Anyways, Javier, my phone, I got a message saying my phone overheated. That's never happened to me in my entire life, which means that you must be so cool that you're just like on fire.
Such a passionate conversation.
It must be that the truth that I see in the comments that your nickname should be Cami. So,
why?
I don't know, but you have a lot of fans that are just like burning up over here. I'm so sorry.
No problem.
We have a couple of questions, but let's continue on with what we were saying here about the World Refugee Day Challenge. Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. No, so what I was saying was it's cool, like you post a challenge, but then creators take it into their own hands and then they'll create other content to spread awareness about what you're promoting. So there was one where there was a creator who was talking about the biggest refugee camps in the world, hashtag World Refugee Day. There was one of my fellow creators, she posted a video this morning sharing her own story being an urban refugee here in Nairobi, and she's from Eritrea. And so we were in the same program, like the same TikTok Kenya program. And so it's cool to receive that level of support, to have people take something you're promoting, but then make it their own. So it's been great.
And another effect that you might not know that's been happening in the Mindleaps circles, you know, so many of our kids are former street kids or refugee kids, these vulnerable girls in Mauritania that really you. And they haven't known the TikTok platform that well because they haven't had that much access to technology. So we've seen them actually like learning new things about how do you use the technology, how do we create followers, how do we use hashtags. So like all
that's so cool.
Other, like digital media skills that these youth definitely need to be part of these movements and amplify their voices.
That's amazing.
To do that because of you. So
that is actually okay. One quick note on that. That is. Now it was my phone overheating. Okay, I'm back. So one of the big things that I believe in with this platform is giving people the tools to then share their story and take control of their own story. Because it's through traditional media, yes, it's people coming into our community and into our camp and they're documenting and telling our stories for us and they might include our picture. There's nothing like you having your phone, having your tools, and then you putting out your narrative. And so I think I have to push that because the way my skin color looks, and when I post videos in Kenya, a lot of people will just assume, okay, he's white or he comes from privilege. And so that's a huge narrative that I have to push is like, I'm Latino, I'm a person of color. Like I also am not as represented in the media in different places. And so one of my big agendas is just people learn these tools and then control their own narratives. Another thing, there was a cool partnership I did there's actually a university in the US, it's Southern New Hampshire University. And they're the ones who actually provide higher education in many camps, many refugee camps. They work a lot in Rwanda. They work a lot in Kenya, the refugee camps in Kenya. They have some in Lebanon, but mostly here in Africa. And so we partnered last year, I think around November, and we actually got 5 interns to our platform, Afrobeats with Kamau. And so this was amazing. So what happened is through the campaign with UNHCR that we did in September, one of the coordinators, because she's always following their pages, she found our account because we launched a challenge for them. And so she's like, hey, we have these refugee youth who are pursuing higher education, and now we have the funds to connect them with internships. Would you be interested in taking on some interns? And so we actually took in 5. The fact that I had interns is insane. we had 5 interns who would keep me. So they were in charge of different regions So there was one in charge of Rwandan music and trends, one in charge of South African music and trends, Kenya, Tanzania, Somalia. And so, yeah, every week they would report to me on what's happening in these regions, what should I be jumping on for challenges. And so it's exactly what you're saying is, especially these days, now that we're seeing a lot of the activity transferring to virtual, you need to know these skills. And so working on something like, okay, how do I jump on YouTube and find something that's trending and then write a report about it and send it over to you? And then how do you launch a challenge? Those are all things that we tackled during the internship. So it's exactly what you're saying is give people the tools and then they'll promote their own narrative.
Yeah, and again, this idea that we can control our own story, which is somewhat natural for dancers, but then we don't know how to communicate it or get it to the wider world, and that's what you're teaching. I see one of our friends joining us from American Ballet Theater. So Gabe, we're waiting for your TikTok challenge.
Give us extensions.
Gabe also has an amazing story, and he could totally use this tool to share his story. We have a question from the audience, which is, how many people so far have done the World Refugee Dance Challenge? I don't know.
I think total close to 200.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the views are in the thousands. But
100,000. Yeah.
Well, so okay, then I feel better that like that I'm one of 200 people who's trying to do this and look cool.
You're part of the movement.
I'm getting there, Javier. I'm getting there. I know we just have a couple more minutes left with you. We have another awesome question from the audience, which is, if you had one wish for the world, what would it be?
Oh, that is so deep.
Yeah.
This was not in my preparation. This was not in my preparation kit. No. One wish for the world. I think it all comes down to just seeing how we're all so similar. Like, you can point out the differences. Yeah, there are differences, obviously, culturally, religiously. At the end of the day, we're all more similar than we think. The moment we realize that, a lot of these divisions that are happening in the world will really disappear. Whether that's racial prejudice or religious prejudice, anywhere you are, especially with everything that's happening, Black Lives Matter in the US, the moment we realize we're all struggling with the same things, like family, partners, like our parents, and just paying the rent, we're all on the same page, really. So my wish is just everybody to realize that, and then really I feel like the world will just come into unity.
We had a chance to speak with Royce Zachary, who's another dancer who's worked with Mindleaps, but around the world. And he said, it's when we get to the point where we can't really think in those terms that we actually have justice, right? If we're still dividing and saying, okay, this group now needs to come up, and now, okay, see, look, now it's balanced. It's still not really the vision of equality. But when we just think that, like you're saying, we just think of the similarities and that everybody's on the same fight, there might be different places on the path, but it's the same fight, then this whole, even World Refugee Day hopefully will disappear because of good reasons.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Javier. It's just an honor to connect with you again. I've loved all of my days times working with you at Mindleaps. We can't wait to come in and connect with you again, to steal you into one of our programs, or to
I'm there. Just say the word.
Thank you so much for inspiring so many youth, inspiring me, and all that you do for World Refugee Day and beyond.
Yes, thank you for having me. Thank you for everybody tuning in. Yeah, this is amazing.
Okay, go be brilliant. Asante sana.
Karibu sana.
Okay, thanks everyone. We'll see you on Friday. Thank you.